Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nathan, and in this video I'll be predicting the first USFL season in 2022. Watch until the end to find out. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new, and let's get into the video. So let's begin in the South Division. The Houston Gamblers, 2-8. The Houston Gamblers were one of 8 teams that were officially announced as a USFL franchise on November 22nd of 2021. In the original USFL in the 1980s, the Houston Gamblers were around from 1984 to 1985. In those 2 seasons, they had a record of 23 wins and 15 losses and made the playoffs both times. Houston will be led by Kevin Sumlin as the head coach, and he has a career record as a head coach of 95 wins and 63 losses and 4 bowl wins. They aren't favored to win the USFL championship game this season, and by all means, I think that Houston will be the worst team in the new league this year. The Birmingham Stallions, 3-7. The Birmingham Stallions will actually be the home team for the entire 2022 season. In the original USFL, the Birmingham Stallions were around from 1983 to 1985. In those 3 seasons, they had a record of 38 wins and 20 losses and made the playoffs 2 out of 3 seasons. They are led by Skip Holtz, who was a longtime college coach. As a head coach, he had a record of 152 wins and 121 losses with 8 bowl wins under his belt. The Birmingham Stallions are not favored to win the USFL championship game this season, and I think that they will finish the second worst team in the league this year. The New Orleans Breakers, 6-4. The original New Orleans Breakers only existed for 1 season back in 1984, and the franchise was in 2 other cities, namely Boston in 1983 and Portland, Oregon in 1985. In those 3 seasons, the original franchise had a record of 25 wins and 29 losses and never made a playoff spot. The Breakers are led by head coach Larry Fedora, who was the head coach from Southern Miss in North Carolina from 2008 to 2018. As a head coach, he has a record of 79 wins and 62 losses with 3 bowl wins under his belt. The New Orleans Breakers are a top 4 team this season, and I suspect that they will qualify for a playoff spot this season, and I also suspect that they will compete for a division title this season. The Tampa Bay Bandits, 7-3. In the original USFL, the Tampa Bay Bandits were around from 1983 to 1985. In those 3 seasons, they had a record of 35 wins and 21 losses and made the playoffs 2 out of 3 seasons. They are led by head coach Todd Haley. He's probably the second biggest coaching name in the USFL this season. He was the head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs from 2009 to 2011, and he had a career record of 19 wins and 27 losses with Kansas City and made 1 playoff appearance in the 2010 season when his team won the AFC West Division. The Tampa Bay Bandits are one of the favorites to win the first USFL championship game this season, and I suspect that they will win the South Division this year and will make a playoff spot. So that's my USFL South Division standings predictions for the 2022 season. Now to the North Division. The New Jersey Generals, 4-6. The original New Jersey Generals were around from 1983 to 1985. In those 3 seasons, they had a record of 31 wins and 23 losses and made the playoffs 2 out of 3 seasons. The Generals will be led by head coach Mike Riley, who perhaps is best known to NFL fans for his 3-year stint with the Chargers. He's a former head coach of Oregon State, Nebraska, and the Chargers, and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and the AAF's San Antonio Commanders. As a head coach, he has a record of 195 wins and 182 losses, and he has also won 2 Grey Cup championships and has made 10 bowl game appearances in college. The Generals aren't picked to win the USFL championship game this season, and I suspect that they will finish the 2022 season in last place in the North Division. The Pittsburgh Maulers, 5-5. The original Pittsburgh Mods were only around for 1 season in 1984. In that 1 season in 1984, they had a record of 3 wins and 15 losses. The Pittsburgh Mods will be led by Kirby Wilson in his head coaching debut. He was a runner-backs coach in the NFL between 2002 and 2020, winning Super Bowl rings with the Buccaneers and the Steelers, as well as working with the Cardinals, Vikings, Browns, and the Raiders. He retired before the 2021 season, but the chance to be a head coach was apparently enough to pull him back in. The Pittsburgh Mods are going to be a competitive team this season, and I absolutely think that they will compete for a playoff spot this season. The Philadelphia Stars, 6-4. The original Philadelphia Stars were around from 1983 to 1984, and the franchise moved to Baltimore in 1985. In those 2 seasons in Philadelphia, they had a record of 31 wins and 5 losses and won the 1984 USFL Championship. And with the 3rd season in Baltimore, they won another USFL Championship in 1985 and had a franchise record of 48 wins and 13 losses and 1 tie. The Stars will be led by head coach Bart Andrews. He was the head coach of the NFL Europe's Amsterdam Admirals for 7 years, winning a World Bowl in 2005. He has held various positions in the NFL, CFL, NCAA, NFL Europe, and the XFL for Team 9 that was a developmental team, the Spring League, UFL, and U Sports. As a head coach, he has a career record of 39 wins and 53 losses. The Philadelphia Stars will be a good team this season. I predict that they will make a playoff spot this year. The Michigan Panthers, 8-2. The original Michigan Panthers were around from 1984 to 1985, and after that they merged with the Oakland Invaders in 1985. In those 2 seasons, they had a record of 24 wins and 15 losses and won a USFL championship in 1983. The Michigan Panthers are led by head coach Jeff Fisher. He's by far the biggest name among the USFL head coaches. As a head coach, he has a career record of 178 wins and 171 losses with 1 career tie. The Panthers had the first overall pick for the new USFL draft. They took quarterback Shea Pearson, who was the starter at both Ole Miss and Michigan. He will be competing with Paxton Lynch, the former first-round pick for the Denver Broncos. The Michigan Panthers have one of the best chances of winning the first USFL championship game this season, and I suspect that they should win the North Division this year. So that's my USFL North Division standings predictions for the 2022 season. Now let's go to the playoffs. In the South Division semifinals, I have the New Orleans Breakers versus the Tampa Bay Bandits. I have the New Orleans Breakers upsetting Tampa Bay, and they will win this game and will advance to the USFL Championship game. In the North Division semifinals, I have the Philadelphia Stars versus the Michigan Panthers. So my prediction is that the Michigan Panthers will win this game over the Philadelphia Stars and will advance to the USFL Championship game. In the first USFL Championship game, I have the New Orleans Breakers versus the Michigan Panthers. So my prediction is for the USFL Championship game is I have the Michigan Panthers winning the first USFL Championship game this season over the New Orleans Breakers. Who will be the best team in the USFL this season? And who do you think will win the first USFL Championship game this season? Join me in the comment section down below and tell me what you guys think. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that notification bell to be notified of new videos in the future. Make sure you share this video with friends and family, and please get this video out there. My name is Nathan. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to just keep loving sports. I'll see you next time.